I thought it might be helpful to have a tour of the syllabus with the instructor to kind of explain some of the basics. And I'm using the most recent version of the syllabus, so there are some things that may change from semester to semester, but this will be our syllabus that we're working from. So as you see here in front of you, this is the first page of the syllabus, and at the time when the syllabus was published on Blackboard, we didn't actually have a room number, but it ended up being in Social Science Room 111. And our very first class meeting was August 27th. I found out later that this course was set up to be a solely online class, so we had to make some last-minute adjustments as to what attendance should or shouldn't look like. So we'll basically go through this quickly and explain some of the things that I feel will help you succeed in this course. As you know, this is a course on fund development, and it is an online course, so your participation in both the discussion boards and the blogs will help you get the most from the course and learn as you go. There aren't really any textbooks, but there are a couple that I do think are really helpful. Believe it or not, I actually like Fundraising for Dummies. I think it's a pretty decent book. I like the Donor Center Fundraising book by Penelope Burke. It's also very good. These are available through Amazon and Chegg and various other things. You can also get them at the Madden Library on campus. The course itself is set up into 10 steps, and each one of these steps builds upon the other. And if you take a look at the course tour, you'll see a graphic that explains how everything works together. And this is designed to give you a broad brush overview of fundraising. This is not intended to give you the detailed look on, say, how to write a business plan or how to make a really firm solicitation or how to do planned giving, or even for dealing with boards. That will go off in later modules. But for this particular one-unit course, this is how to get your feet wet and get started with some of the real basics. There aren't any examinations in this course. As you can see here, the major assignment that we have will be to use those 10 steps to do a project. And typically your homework is going to be doing the discussion boards and the blogs. They are due by midnight on the Wednesday after each step. So in other words, if you look at the very first one, you need to process it on that date and then answer by the next following Wednesday. Generally speaking, I like individuals to do one post to meet the needs, or one blog, and then to comment at least twice on their classmates. It gives a well-rounded conversation. The actual major assignment is the project, and the project, as I said, builds on the 10 steps. As you see later on in the syllabus, it'll give you due dates for this, but it is a written paper, and you will be responsible for doing an online presentation. We don't have to actually meet on the last night of class. And again, there are no finals. It's just a project, and the project is designed to give you something that if you do decide to go into doing fundraising work, you could use this in your portfolio. Generally speaking, since this is a one-unit class, you're expected to kind of spend 2 hours set aside each week to do the work in the class. It should be fun, pretty easy to do, relatively conversational, and not too terribly taxing. It's really important for you to have good, solid knowledge of working with Blackboard and a decent amount of tech savvy. I'd like it if each of you would know how to work the video recording functions on your computer and being able to handle most of these with ease. So moving on down, again, we have a little bit about participation standards. I expect you to one post a week. 2 paragraphs is great. That's the suggested amount. Comment on at least 2 of your classmates' reflections, and everything is due by Monday on the next class date. Generally speaking, it would be great if you logged in and checked to Blackboard at least 3 to 4 times a week, but use it at your own pace. As you will notice when you look at this, I have all of the 10 steps and the instructions loaded up so that you can work at your own pace. If you have days when you are particularly busy with another class, you can actually work ahead. That's kind of the idea, so you give yourself a little more time. There are only some hard and fast dates in terms of interviewing potential project subjects such as Katie Zenovich or Linda Calandra and the others whose names show up as those you can interview, I have a specific time period set aside for when you can interview them so that we can keep a little better control with how we pester these people who have been so kind enough to donate their time. So generally speaking, there's your assignment due dates. For some reason it didn't switch off evenly on my page segmentation, but here you have what the point value is. And as you can see here, participation is 25% of your points. The interview questions are 5, the final presentation is 10, and your project profile is worth 60 points. So the bulk of, to get a passing grade, you kind of need to be there to do the final presentation, the PowerPoint. That'll give you 70%. If you do the interview questions, you've got 75, and that'll at least get you through. But your participation will make the difference between an A or a B. Generally speaking, that's how I look at it. So, and your classmates learn from your interactions with each other, and that's how we help each other grow. And if you were attending the first night of class, generally what I tell people is that fundraising is a relationship business. And so I would love it if my class had relationships with one another and could help each other grow and learn on the subject matter. Here are the basic primary learning outcomes, some of the key things that I expect you to learn. In particular, I want to call attention to the Donor Bill of Rights and the Code of Ethics. These are things that I feel that every fundraiser should know as general basics. Let's see. Online grading, I tend to answer within 48 hours. I'm a big proponent of email, so if you have any problems with Blackboard or questions on your exam, or even little glitches in the Blackboard where things don't load up properly, please feel free to email me. I'm usually really good with that. It's a 1-unit class, so please try to stay up with it because it'll help you. It's a shame to have 1 unit go as a bad grade because, as we all know, it's very difficult to remove any negative grades on your on your transcripts. They're hard to remove and they tend to be like a wart and very difficult. Plagiarism detection, that'll work with your papers. Here's a little bit about different things that we do, the honor code, cheating and plagiarism, computers, standard stuff that they have in most of your syllabuses. Kind of going through here. Okay, now to the meat of the course. Whoop, here we go. Tentative course schedule. Here it is arranged. Each one of these are what you should be doing on the night it is assigned. Okay, notice the introduction. We have a holiday. Step 1. Step 1, I expect you on September 3rd to look at the material and mentally process the material and respond to step 1 by September 10th. Okay, so that means that when you are processing and reviewing the files, you would start reviewing the step 2 on Wednesday, September 10th. And then you would respond and upload your post to the discussion board on September 17th for step 2, and so on and so forth. Just calling your attention to a couple of things. You need to take a look at the project page that is on Blackboard. And your interview questions will be due to me on October 1st. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, you'll need to post your questions in the discussion board on the 8th, but I'd like you to reflect on these by October 1st. There's a couple of other different things. Oops, there's date and reading assignments. For some reason this didn't come out well. I have an interesting little assignment that is due on November 5th, but you can start working on it on the 29th, and that is that I expect you to ask someone for money. So basically do your own ask, but I would like you to ask me for money using your cell phone or your computer camera, really short, maybe 30 seconds asking me for money, because I just want to kind of get you to practice a little bit. It's not that hard and it really isn't that scary, but you'd be surprised. Most people have a larger fear of asking for money than they do of death, which I find quite interesting. It's not that scary. You have plenty of free time to work on your project, to hammer out the details, and also if you're having problems, you can get back in touch with me. I'm going to have a check-in on Wednesday the 19th for those who want to know a little bit more about the project or basically want a little bit of assistance or guidance. I'm available on kind of an online drop-in format. I'll probably arrange something in advance with all of you. It'll be a Google Hangout most likely, since it tends to be the one that most of you have, since your Fresno State account is a Google-driven account. Let's see. Okay, final exam preparation, These don't really totally apply to us, but the final exam in this course is your presentation, and that will be on Wednesday, December 17th. I hope you have found this helpful for all of you, and if you have any questions, obviously you can email me at danaz@csufresno.edu, and I look forward to hearing more from you. Thank you so much.